Jimmy Kimmel was suspended from his late night show that no one watches for appearing to mislead the American public about who the shooter of Charlie Kirk was.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
I really didn't want to get into the Jimmy Kimmel thing, but it's what everyone wants to hear about, and it's definitely a dumpster fire, so...
And here we go.
I can't think of a single relevant thing Jimmy Kimmel has said other than just being annoying. Should Kimmel have gotten fired?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Probably years ago, honestly. I think he was done maybe 5 years ago, at least 3. But honestly, this week, I don't know, and I don't really care. What I'm most furious about is that I even have to talk about Jimmy Kimmel again. Stop making me talk about Jimmy Kimmel. Canceled. I'm not saying I disagree with it, but Jimmy Kimmel was canceled. He didn't appear to mislead them. He said it was MAGA, even after it came out that it was pretty clear that it was not MAGA. It wasn't even like he was making a joke. He was just straight up saying, oh, we know this is one of their guys. The absolute loathing that he has for MAGA and anyone who doesn't think like him is so transparent.
This kid who murdered Charlie Kirk is anything other than one of them.
After years of writing pieces about how cancel culture is good for democracy, deplatforming the president is good for democracy or anyone, justifying big tech censoring people during COVID, debanking people is good for democracy. And then the left expects the right to uphold the principles that they don't fucking abide by when they have power. I think I speak for a lot of the American public when I say I'm out of fucks to give. Here's the insanely frustrating part. Suddenly, all these douchebags on the left are suddenly free speech warriors. They're running around online outraged that Jimmy Kimmel, their warrior against Trump, the guy speaking truth to power, has been fired. And they're like, first I actually saw this online. I wonder if I bookmarked it, but it was like, first they came for Jimmy. I'm like, what are you you guys are nuts, okay? You're out of your mind. What do you mean first they came for Jimmy? Where were you for the last 10 years when they were silencing people, censoring people? Our friend Megan Murphy, who got kicked off Twitter for saying boys and girls are different. There were people who were talking about the transgender stuff. They were banned. There were people talking about literally anything that wasn't within a very slim, narrow window of what was acceptable. Gone. We got everything labeled with warnings if we were talking about COVID.
They pushed us super hard to take down things that were honestly were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said anything that says that vaccines might have side effects.
People were getting kicked off YouTube. This has been the past 10 years. They had to start another YouTube site, basically Rumble. I would be on Truth Social screaming this if it wasn't for Elon buying Twitter. Where have these people been for a decade that suddenly they're like, first they came for Jimmy, what are you? They just didn't come for you or anyone you knew, and so you didn't care. You were fine with it. You know where you were for the past decade? You were cheering for all of this. You were cheering when they censored the Biden laptop story from the New York Post in the hours and days before the election. You were saying, writing articles about how actually it's not cancel culture, it's accountability culture. I could go on and on. And so forgive me if I have absolutely no patience for your first they came for Jimmy. Where were you last week? Actually, when they came for Charlie Kirk, Ben Stiller tweeted, this isn't right about Jimmy being fired. You know what he didn't tweet about? You know what isn't right? You know what the ultimate cancel culture is? Somebody getting fucking murdered. It's so annoying to me.
It's so true.
It's so annoying. I get it. I do try to remain principled. I do not think that it's good when the government is influencing free speech. I've been very clear about this. I've been a free speech absolutist.
On the other hand,
I think in this instance, though, it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. I think in this instance, Disney wanted to fire this guy. The affiliates used their power and they said, fuck this, we're not showing Jimmy Kimmel. They got mad. They exercised their rights, the affiliates being like the local stations. And then they said, we're not going to do this. Look, Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, have you taken a look at their ratings? These companies have been looking for a reason to offload these guys without lefties throwing some kind of shit fit for years. And this was a foregone conclusion. And it was all but done except Carr, who had to like brag because the administration is always stepping on their dick while they try and show off for the president. Was like, oh, we did this. And Trump is like, yeah, we did this, because he's too stupid to realize that he shouldn't be saying that. So it's just a total dumpster fire cluster. But I will push back against the administration when I think there is an actual encroachment on free speech. This guy was as good as gone. All these people this administration did was do a favor for Jimmy and a favor for freaking Disney. They gave Disney an off-ramp. Disney can be like, oh, whoops, that was the administration. They forced our hand. It's cancel culture. We're getting scared now.
Stop, don't come back.
It's fascism. And Jimmy's like, oh no, I'm a martyr for free speech. I'm going to start a podcast. The only people who lose really are the American people, as usual, because we're all tearing each other apart. But honestly, this is a win-win-win. The administration gets to be like, oh, we strong-arm these people into like doing our bidding, and Disney was like, there's nothing we could do, even though they were going to fire him the day before. And if the administration had just not been on a podcast bragging about it, it would have been the way things unfolded. And then Jimmy gets to be on the cross martyred now. And then people are getting mad at me because I'm calling out all the hypocrites who literally don't give a shit about free speech. You don't care about free speech. You're going to use the principles that I have been fighting for against me? Go fuck yourselves. No, that's not the way this works. And most Americans are sick of it, frankly. This is way more about capitalism always wins. ABC and Disney would not let these guys go if they were making money hand over fist. It's so hilarious to me that now the left wing is like, oh, I'm canceling my Disney subscription. Oh, now the left wing's boycotting Disney without childless millennial left wing retards who will even go to Disneyland anymore. Imagine if Disney World, in an effort to get the people back, goes full MAGA, the only ones with kids. Mickey Mouse wearing his MAGA hat shouting, this is MAGA country. This is MAGA country. I mean, they do want to try and appeal to young men again, so they should go all MAGA. Trump got kicked off all the fucking platforms as a sitting president. The president. And everyone was like, this is good, actually. You see, deplatforming isn't a big deal at all. And now look at how uniform they are with the message that's being pushed 1 week after Charlie Kirk was shot. And I'm not saying the government shot Charlie Kirk. I'm not an idiot. I just think you are completely tone deaf if you don't understand that a man who fought for free speech, who fought for his ideals, was shot for his beliefs, and it was the beliefs that so many Americans hold. Then they look around and they say, oh, these are pretty standard beliefs that I have, and all of these other Americans are like celebrating their friends, family, coworkers. And now you're supposed to ask them to care about a late night host who also openly hates them losing his job.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Which is most likely just business related than they were about a political assassination that they're still grieving and the man hasn't even been buried yet. I seriously laughed out loud when I was on Twitter. It was like, first they came for Jimmy. I'm like, did everyone just wake up today? Like, Were you all just born today onto Twitter? What are you, no, you weren't. You just suffered none of the consequences that a lot of the people that you have nothing to do with in America suffered. And I'm sorry, but that's not the way this works. That's just not. And then someone was like, be careful. I think it was an Free Press article, actually. It was like, for those on the right who might like what they're seeing from this FCC, remember, the Democrats will wield this power again. Oh, no. So they'll do what they've been doing for a decade?
Oh, shiver my timbers. Shut up, man.
When Biden was censoring stuff in lockstep with tech companies, nobody even cared. No one cared other than those of us who were fighting it and getting censored. They tried to kick Rogan off Spotify. I could name so many people that they came for, and I'm supposed to be like, oh no, not the Democrats using their power in a way that is against their opponents like they always do. What are we gonna do? I will fight this administration when I need to, and I'm sure I will need to fight this dumbass administration, but I'm currently not buying that this is the big thing it is. These companies, like I said, wanted to offload these guys, and they have for years, and they're using Trump to do it. This was a foregone conclusion, and now they get cover, and too many of these dumb Trump officials are doing performative stuff to show off for Trump and MAGA, and it always gets them in trouble, and the hosts get to go out as martyrs. Honestly, win-win-win. Bad for America, but good for everyone else I just mentioned, all the millionaires. Bad for all of us plebs who are tearing each other apart. This is why, guys, I beg you to understand that rich people are always on the same side. We made fun of Kimmel crying when Trump was reelected. I mean, crying on late night television, Kimmel tears. I am so embarrassed for you guys. He cries a lot, and I can't even make fun of him anymore because I was crying last week. But we did make fun of Kimmel, and I guess he was right. I guess he was right to cry. Jimmy Kimmel's tears were the tears of a clown whose days were numbered.